This woman was obsessed with knitting, like next level obsessed. So obsessed that she climbed onto the edge of a massive cliff just to keep knitting her scarf. When she glanced down, she realized the scarf had already become insanely long. Most people would stop there, not her. She started knitting even faster. The scarf kept dropping farther and farther down the cliff until suddenly it yanked her right off the edge. Now she was hanging upside down over a deadly drop. Luckily, one of her feet got stuck on the rocky ledge, saving her at the last second. But instead of panicking, she looked down and realized something crazy. She could still knit while hanging upside down. So she started climbing back up while knitting even faster than before. The scarf whipped through the air like a giant flying ribbon. Then disaster struck. She completely ran out of yarn. A second later, the heavy scarf dragged her back onto the cliff edge. Most people would finally quit after that, but she still couldn't stop. And she remembered her hair. Hair she had been growing for over 40 years. Without hesitation, she began knitting her own hair into the scarf. Strand by strand, her hair disappeared, but the knitting never stopped. Eventually, every last piece of hair was gone, and now she had absolutely nothing left to knit with. This time, the scarf pulled her straight off the cliff again. Somehow, she managed to climb back up once more. When she looked down, she saw the endless scarf hanging beneath her, and her hands started moving automatically again. But this time, she finally fought the obsession. She grabbed the knitting needles and threw them off the cliff. For the first time in years, the madness was over. Then she sat down in a chair, picked up a pair of scissors, and suddenly became obsessed with those instead.